Hello and good evening, carpet cleaning world. This is your administrator, Roger Lloyd, and this is Friday Night Insights, and I am your host. And tonight we're going to be interviewing RLMA services exclusively for the cleaning industry. But before we do that, we're going to go over the announcements. As you can see here, April 19th, the 20th, and the 21st of 2021 is the Experience Conference and Exhibition in Charleston, South Carolina at the Embassy Suites. That is what, 16 days away now, ladies and gentlemen. You want to book your room at the Embassy Suites or somewhere close by if you don't want to stay there, so you can be at the largest conference and exhibition convention of our industry every year, once on the East Coast and once on the West Coast. All right, so make sure you register today, right now. There are links everywhere so you can, and on Facebook and on the Experience website itself, so you can make sure you confirm your room and make sure you register. All right, so that is the announcement. It's coming soon. And don't forget, on April 18th at 3:30 in the afternoon, registration starts at 2 to 6. At 3:30, we will have our free marketing seminar with yours truly, and I will be going into how to become the known professional in your zip codes of choice. All right, so that's enough said about that. Let's bring this down. And let's give Miss Janae a warm welcome from RLMA Services. A's stand for applause. Here she comes. Hello, Janae.
Hello, carpet cleaning world. How's everybody doing this evening? Can you hear me?
Okay? Great. All right, so Janae from RLMA, exclusively for the cleaning industry. There are so many ladies and gentlemen, including yours truly, that have been struggling with some of the services that you offer the cleaning industry, and you will be offering the cleaning industry. Excuse me, something's in my eye. Tried to blink it out, but it didn't work. There we go. So without further ado, Miss Janae, would you please give us a little knowledge and what RLMA has to offer the cleaning industry?
By all means, thank you so much. Well, first off, what we offer the cleaning industry is a little bit different than what most do. We are exclusive to the cleaning industry, for one, and our agents are well trained. In fact, they are industry trained to make sure that they have all of the industry ins and outs and verbiage that is used to know how to handle certain situations. So that's what sets us apart, and that's what makes us a little different than any other maybe companies that are answering for the service industry. But we do specifically for the cleaning service industry. Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get things out the way here. There we go. So let's say I've been doing this for about 31 years. I've had office. I've had office assistants. I know they don't like the word secretaries anymore in the age of 2021. And so I've had office assistants, and they've answered my phone. You went through the, things like them calling out sick, one of their kids not being able to go to school, so they couldn't come into work, or all
Let's
the things. So I'm stuck in a scenario that I have to take my phone with me. And let's be honest, before cell phones hit the scene, I
I
was just
understand.
stuck with leaving an answering machine on and having to come back, or when she came back the next day. And we could have lost a lot of business because people don't wait for carpet cleaning and services such as they will just move to the next. So, with RLMA services, what can you tell me about that?
What I can tell you is that that's something huge that a lot of owner operators have expressed to me that they are frustrated with, making sure that there's someone that's going to be dependable, reliable. They want to make sure that they have fewer missed calls. I was asked, are you going to make sure that 100% of my calls are answered? We would love to make sure that 100% of your calls are answered. However, that's very unrealistic. We will guarantee that you have fewer missed calls. Any calls that are not captured with the system that we are using, we will be able to capture those calls still, even though they may not be answered. We still will be able to return those calls. It's very rare when a call cannot be answered. Now, we would have enough agents that could cover that. In the event that there was no way to answer or pick up that call, those calls are returned immediately and they are logged and tracked. So not only do you experience fewer missed calls, your calls are tracked. You get to see what time of day the most number of calls come in, or when you get kind of a lull, when the calls die down. I don't know, after dinner time, maybe the calls die down a little bit, or first thing in the morning, maybe calls don't pick up until after 10 o'clock. That's something that you'll be able to gauge because of the way the calls are being tracked.
All right. So we have about 6,700 members here in the carpet cleaning world, and this will also be on my YouTube channel, which could be anywhere from anyone watching it around the world. So my honest question to you is this: why should I hire RLMA opposed to getting like a college kid, or maybe my daughter, or my wife, or perhaps I know you have a offer where if I do have someone that can answer my phones, you can train them. I think it's a 3-day training. So
Yes.
why would I need that? If I have someone answer my phones, why do I need you or your people to train them?
Well, first and foremost, you will need a customer service system set in place. If you don't use RLMA, you need to get one. That's the first and foremost thing that I would like to say. It is preferred, of course, that you utilize my services with RLMA because I have over 25 years of customer service experiences, and I know how to use certain methods to control the conversation um, for the purpose of getting your appointments or jobs booked or scheduled. So here's a great example. If you do have um, a relative or a staff member, and you might want to save or may not be able to afford or might not be able to, you might not be ready yet to have the service full on for live inbound answering. There is the 3-day training program that you can use up to 2 people that you designate from your staff. Then you can have them trained. It is a 3-day program, and they would be trained just like any other applicant that would apply for RLMA. Now they have to be certified when everything is done. So what that means is at the end of that training, they would get a certification of completion. They do not get a certification if they don't pass certain quizzes, tests, and exams. So, for example, at the very end, they will be given a final exam to make sure that they understand fully, how to perform these services. This is a way for you to perform in an optimal way, to perform your not to perform just your services, but to present your business in an optimal way by showing how professional you are. Make yourself look much bigger than you truly are. Um, this is going to allow uh, your customers to be repeat customers and then to become clients. So when you have the first point of contact, when the phone is answered in the live inbound answering system, it is a program. They are greeted, they are welcomed, they are trained to answer any questions. They are trained on all of your services and all of your pricing. They know your hours of operation. They're basically an extension of your staff. I
Oh,
hope I answered.
okay. So basically, why, like, and to summarize, because that was a lot. Um, what you're saying is why I would want to hire you or your company to train like my wife or my daughter or whoever I would have, up to 2 people you would train
Correct.
for a 3-day course. And basically, you're saying that you would teach them how to control the call. So that is the significance, if I'm summarizing and got everything you said correctly, that that is the benefit of hiring you or your staff to train
Yes.
my wife or my daughter or whoever I have answering the
They've
phone.
learned how to control the call for the benefit and the purpose of keeping your prospective customer in line. Too many times, you just had Johnny Johnson on the phone, on the live last week, expressing how a customer will get on the phone. Sometimes they're elderly and they just want someone to talk to, and they go on and on and on. You can get someone that can reel them back in a professional manner. They're firm, but they're kind. They get the job scheduled in a nice way. They're not going to be snappy, but they're going to end the call after nicely and kindly and professionally. So
Oh,
there's so much more, excuse me, there's so much more involved than being polite, so much more involved than being kind and asking questions and filling out a form with a smile on your face. It's so much more than that. So that's what I wanted to say.
so let's cut to the chase here. What if there's someone that calls up and they're very angry because they didn't like the way me or one of my technicians clean their carpets or their furniture or whatever we clean for them, and they were what you would call a disgruntled customer? How would you go about dealing, or even worse, what if they're abusive? What if they say, hey, you better get your technician back out here, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that? If they become abusive.
Well, typically, as an owner operator, you would want to abuse right back, so to speak, right? You'd want to get into a shouting match and you're going back and forth. And that's not the way you want to conduct business. It's not a professional look for your company. So, to maintain a well polished image that you want to maintain, that's where you have your customer service people, RLMA. This is where we come in. We are still representatives of your company, and we have a grievance process where we listen to everything that they have to say. We listen to their entire complaint. We apologize to them that they feel that way. We are not admitting guilt on in any way. We are listening to it. We're letting them know that there is a process, and we give them an opportunity to lodge their complaint on our ears. And that's what we do. And we de-escalate the situation. Now, if it's something that usually can be handled right then and there in the call, we can either reschedule after we explain whatever didn't sit well with the customer, give them an opportunity, give the company an opportunity to come back out and correct the problem. Or if it is escalated all the way up to the point of a refund or a discounted service on the next visit, we take care of that as well, but in a professional, calm, customer service like manner with a smile on our face, not screaming, yelling, shouting, threatening, none of that. When we take a call from a disgruntled customer, if they are threatening, we don't allow ourselves to be talked to or spoken to in that manner. We state so clearly, but again, in a nice way. If it gets out of hand, we let the owner of the company know, we end the call, and we take care of it from there. But we handle it in a very professional way.
All right. That sums that up. So my next question is, so if I hired your staff to answer my phones, you said I understand the exclusivity of you just working with the cleaning industry. So does that mean there's certain terminologies and certain questions that are asked that even some carpet cleaners can't answer? Cleaners can't answer.
Yes,
Like,
there are. There are even certain details that have to be asked when you're getting certain information. When you are asking about the carpet, we train them to ask about the soil level, if it's light, moderate, or heavy. We ask about if it's low or high pile, things that are detailed if you need to know those things. If you're cleaning hardwood floors, we're asking details about a high gloss finish versus a semi gloss finish. If there's a complaint and a customer calls in and they say that a spot comes back up, we explain it to them where they can understand without giving them a whole science lesson. We know that wicking has to do with oxidation process, but we don't go there. We just explain to them basically that it's the process of the stain coming back up to the top of the fibers, and all we need to do is come back out and do a clear water rinse, and we'll take care of the problem. And we apologize for the inconvenience. We ask them nicely when their next availability is. Did they prefer morning or an afternoon? And then we just get back out there and we apologize for it and we're over it quickly.
wow.
You
Let
reading
me ask you, you just mentioned that your staff would explain the process of oxidation where moisture rises to the surface. And while it does that, if they didn't get all the stain out, especially if they don't do like dry strokes or something like that, when the remainder of the stain comes back up to the surface,
right.
then it can simply be rinsed away with another
For the
rinse.
another process. Yes.
Wow. And
We
you're
certainly wouldn't throw the technician under the bus. We
right. So
use skill and make sure we're using the proper verbiage. Make sure we don't throw the technician under the bus. We just let them know that it's something that happens. It is a common issue that can arise. It sounds like that's what happened in this case. The process is called, in this case, wicking, and where the stain wicked back up to the top of the fiber.
And your staff is equipped to
Definitely.
answer
They'll be
questions
trained
like
to know that.
where
Absolutely.
even some cleaners aren't equipped to answer questions like that. Well, that's
They're equipped
impressive.
even to ask about area rugs. If you are doing area rugs, for example, they are equipped to ask if these are heirloom rugs, wool rugs, synthetic rugs, or deco rugs, right? Because we know that there's a difference. So whoever's picking up and answering the phone for you, they need to know, because that method that you're going to use to clean that rug is going to make all the difference, right?
Right.
You can't use hot steam on a completely wool rug, or there's certain things that you cannot, certain methods that can't be used for certain things. So they will be taught and trained that they should ask certain details so that we can pass that on to the technician. And that just makes a big difference, opposed to just someone jotting down some, okay, so you have an area rug. And when you get there, they find out, oh, it has fringe. Oh, it's a Persian rug. Oh, we have to remove the rug from the home, things like that. So,
Oh, okay. Well, we have a question here. So let's see what they're saying. So let's see, maybe you can address it. So, Shabla
Shabbat
Shalom,
Shalom to you, Roger, and to your guests.
I
I
really
really enjoy your information. Give all praise to the Most High. Shalom. That's what TMH is. Yes.
Thank you very much. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. So that's nothing for you to really answer there.
Yes, Passover has started, by the way. So
Right. Well, so this is pretty good. So now this is going to be a little bit of a question. Me personally, I've been in this industry for a long time, and I have a certain way that I like my phones answered, and I like to establish a personal relationship with the person answering my phone, because I'm gonna tell you this, and I hope you can give me an answer. Most cleaners, the hardest thing that they can do is not getting out a spot out of carpet, but is relinquishing their phones to someone else, even their wife.
mm.
So, what I need to know, if I would hire your staff to answer my phones, and I'm pretty sure I speak for many cleaners, that's going to be really tough for me to do. So why would I, Roger Lloyd from BioClean, want to relinquish my phone to you and your staff?
Well, first of all, you would want to do that because it's going to allow you to focus on generating the money that you need to for your business. What generates money for your business? When you provide your service, right? You answering your phones isn't what's going to generate money for you. You're concerned about the person that's answering your phone, if they're going to say what you would say. That's why they would be trained. That's why there would be a heavy consultation session with you to find out exactly what your goals are when your phones are answered. Is it important for you to have repeat customers, or is it important for you? You know, we want to find out what's most important for you and your business model and how you run things. And that's how your every that's how your campaign would be run. Every client that we have would be run as a campaign. So you, Roger BioClean, would be campaign A, for example, and we would run it the way you would for BioClean. Campaign B would be the way ABC Carpet Cleaning runs for theirs. That might be a little different. They might do square footage pricing, for example. You might do per room pricing, and then you who BioClean prefers to do square footage pricing. When you switch up or change it around, we just make sure that the campaign is aware that you're now going back to square footage pricing.
So one of the problems that me and many cleaners have is when we have these answering services or virtual assistants or whatever you deem to call yourselves, when someone else is answering our phones, like one of the problems I had with a company that's somewhat known in this industry, not exclusive like you, but known in this industry, they had different um, agents answering my phone. So I was like, one agent was pretty good, the next agent was and the other one was like, oh my God, don't ever let her answer my phone again.
Right. They would all be consistent. That you would experience consistency. All the agents would be trained the same way. For example, the agent in your region would be assigned to you. Roger, you are in
No, I'm just kidding.
you're in region 3.
Uh-huh.
So that's the East Coast region.
Right.
So region 2 would be the Central region, and region 1 would be the Pacific region. Okay. So if you are in San Diego, California, you primarily would be assigned to agent 1 because they come from region 1. Okay. If you are in Seattle, you would be region 1. If you were in Las Vegas, you would be region 1, Phoenix, region 1. So you'd be region 2 if you were in Chicago, St. Louis, or Houston, if you follow what I'm saying, right? And then you would be in region 3 if you are in Miami, New York City, Philly, Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay.
How many agents would be answering my phone? Now I understand.
That's going to depend heavily on the volume of on your call volume. I'm not putting 3 agents on your calls. if you don't get enough call volume to justify doing that. All agents would be equipped and capable of answering your phones. At the moment, we're just rolling out, so there is no. I think what you're asking, do you get to pick and choose your agent? All of your agents are trained to develop a good rapport with any prospective client or customer that you have currently. Um, and they're also trained for your region. So if you have someone in Region 3 and you are a Region 3 client and there are overflow calls being sent over to a Region 1 agent, it'll be our policy at RLMA for Region 1 to answer and pick up your call. But they have to be qualified to do so.
So when you speak of regions, like for instance, when I was using a company about 3.5 years ago, they were all based out of Utah. I'm not going to put their name out there because that's not necessary.
Okay, I get it. I get that.
But everyone that was answering my calls, they were nice sounding for the most part. I'll give them that. But they weren't. They were all from Utah. They knew nothing about the Pennsylvania area or my region. So when people were like, "Well, about how long do you think it'll take him to get here? Where is he coming from, or where?" Like they had no clue. Now, so I'm really impressed with the fact that what you're saying is, if I'm on the West Coast, I'm going to get an operative or an agent from the West Coast.
Right. Preferably from your own state, if that's possible. But once we grow and scale up to that point, then that's something that we can, deliver later on. But at the moment, it would be from your region.
Okay. So once again, so then that's pretty good. So basically, the same agent would be answering my phones on a basic regular schedule because that would be from my region, or the two of them would be from my region. So it would be like preferably one or two people because they can get to understand how my company runs. See, it's very important that whoever answers my phone, as I keep trying to indicate to you, and I believe I speak for many cleaners in the industry, it's very important if I'm going to relinquish my phones to you and your staff that they understand the way I run my business. I understand. I love that you say that it's an exclusive thing. So I love that they know what wicking is and all that. That's very impressive. But they need to understand me and how I run my business. So
outside of the initial consultation, that would be that the initial consultation is where you would express how you run your business and how you want your phones answered. That's where we need the turnaround time to set up the trained individual that will have all of the pertinent information for your services and your pricing. If you are a per room, excuse me, if you are a per room pricing operation versus a square footage operation, those are the things that we will find out. What are you looking for specifically? What is it that I'm missing that you're saying the way you answered your phones? Because that's something that I would get from you in consultation.
Well, no, it's just that I just like to know that I would like to have a feeling or kind of hear, like I would do my own test calls or have someone test call. I just need to make sure that they're saying what I need them to say the way I need them to say it is basically what I'm saying.
Well, there's that we do have call monitoring if it warrants that. Now, just for the basic services, yes, we do have call monitoring. Anytime they call in, there's a recorded call that states that your calls are recorded for quality assurance purposes, kind of like you do when you call, I don't know, the cable company. But it's not intimidating. It's very, it's done like it's a brief recording, and then they wait for for the line to pick up. Excuse me.
No problem.
So I was just trying to say that they wait for the line to pick up, and when they come on the line, they identify themselves. Um, they ask how they can help them. They find out what type of service it is that they were interested in. They're trained in each of your services, all the details and specifics you need to find out. They upgrade the ticket of your service right there over the phone. Um, they start the day, well, because they're given a little cheat sheet with all your services and pricing. So if they're answering for more than one campaign, for example, they'll be able to do that. They're well equipped with that. Because of the system, the software system that we'll be using, it allows that call flow to happen seamlessly without any hiccups whatsoever.
All right. So let's say now I'm gonna be honest with you. Told you I've been doing this a long time. I've been in this industry for a long time. There's a lot of excuse me, there's two other companies in particular that I've known. One is a friend of mine who owns a CRM company who tried to do this answering phone thing. And then there's a chemical company that I deal with that tried to do this for the industry as well. Both of them tried this and it failed. And unfortunately, they had a high turnaround and their clients couldn't stay with them and things like that. What, for instance, can RLMA do for me? Let's say I have a slow week. Let's be honest. Let's say I have a slow 2 weeks, but I'm paying you regardless because you're not a paid per call service, from what I understand.
No,
We
not
are
at all.
right. So we'll get into that in a second here. But so if I have to pay you on a regular basis the same amount of money every week, well, I mean, and it's slow and like there's no calls coming in. I could kind of understand what some of these other companies that I just mentioned were
Let me
saying.
help you out with this,
Okay.
if I may. That's where our jobs not leads program kicks in. Our jobs not leads program is where we provide you with scheduled booked jobs, period. From the industries that you choose, we let you know which ones we're calling on for that period. A period would be within the week. Um, we book within the week, nothing further than a week out. From the industry that you choose, we would choose churches, daycares, med spas, dermatologists, dental offices, chiropractors, for example. And let's say you buy, I don't know, 10 leads, not leads. See, I'm trying to get out of the habit of calling them leads. It's the Jobs Not Leads program. That's what it is, where you are booking jobs. We're not booking a lead. We're not contacting you with someone who wants to get this done and is looking for the whoever's going to call first. It's an actual booked job. So that's the difference there, and that'll help boost and scale up your business for those couple of weeks. You said you'd be down for a couple of weeks, so why not get 10 jobs booked for the next couple of weeks? Add that to your calendar.
All right. All right. Let's summarize this because once again, you put a lot into that. And I just want to make sure everyone is clear. More so than everyone, I want to make sure I'm clear. So you have a program that, should I warrant it because my phone's not ringing and I'm trying to hold on to your services, but of course, if my phone's not ringing, I'm not going to hold on to your services. So you have a program that is called Jobs Not Leads. So when you say that right there, that means you're not a lead generation company that's going to say, hey, here's 3 people that are interested in
No,
carpet
it's
cleaning.
job
Give
generation.
them a call. Right. So you're going to actually book the job and it's going to be in my area, like you just said, and it's no more than a week out.
Right.
So you're going to actually produce work for me where I don't even have to call the people back. That's where what I pay you for in the first place, you book the job. That's what I'm already paying you for. So this jobs not leads program is going to be a way that if I don't even have work, let alone my phone's not ringing, you can help me even get jobs. Is that what you're saying
Absolutely.
to me?
Absolutely. Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
and wait a minute, young lady. That right there. No, all that you said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been around for a long time. I told you about the other two companies. I'm friends with both of the owners. They neither one of them told me they had anything like a jobs not leads program. That right there is what's going to sell me because I'm not an easy sell. So that right there is impressive. So yes, I would definitely give RLMA a chance to see what you have. Now, is there a contract or something that you want? Because I'm not a big guy in contracts and all that.
Absolutely not. We asked for on the live inbound answering, we asked for 1 month. That's it. After that, you start and stop as you choose. If you want to stop for a week, you just let me know that week you won't be doing it. You want to turn it back on, you turn it back on with no additional startup fee. With the jobs not leads program, you can start and stop that as you choose. You buy them 10 at a time. So there you have
At
them.
a time.
Now these are well qualified. I didn't mention earlier, well qualified jobs. These are not jobs you're coming into and it's some crap. These are real well qualified jobs.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You just said we have to purchase them 10 at a time.
Well, yes, there's a minimum of 10 that you purchase. These jobs have been priced very low. We just talked to what's Mike's last name? Well, you call him Mikey P. We just talked to him. He's like, "You're not charging enough for that." And I'm like, "Well, I get it, but we're just getting rolled out. So these are not leads; these are actual jobs. Yes,
I got that.
and
How much is it?
they're $25 a job.
So I have to buy 10
10
jobs
of them for 250. Yeah,
for 250. 10 jobs for 250.
10
That's
jobs.
that's phenomenal. Okay, so wait a minute. Now wait a minute. So I got that. So the jobs not leads program, you have to buy 10 of them. It's $25 a job. I love that. Now this is the part that's really going to make a difference if I'm going to sign on the dotted line for even a month. Let's be honest.
You don't have
How
to sign anything. First of all, there's no
I understand, young lady. I understand.
contract.
I understand that. But what I'm saying, when I say sign on the dotted line, before I pay anything or join your services or acquire your services rather,
Okay.
how much is it and how do you charge? And let's get to the nitty gritty here. How much is it?
For the live inbound answering,
Yeah.
live inbound answering is $1,800 a month. Now, it's
Okay.
just let's break that down. That's
Yeah.
$450 a week.
Oh, wait a minute. $450 a week?
That's 3 jobs for you because your minimum is $150, right? So that's 3 jobs a week for you.
Hmm.
Most people are averaging 18 to 21 jobs at least in a week. So if you're taking 3 jobs a week and you can pay for that, it makes good sense to do so because not only does it allow you to look bigger than you are, you're missing fewer calls on the phone. You are not screaming over a truck mount unit or whatever it is trying to get a job booked. There's a high percentage turnover from inquiry to a scheduled job from the time the phone call comes in. It's very high. Like I got to look at it again. It's in the 90s. I want to say 97, but I think that's boastful. But it's a high percentage rate that of the calls that turn over from inquiry to a scheduled job. And we do increasing the job ticket. We do call screening for you. We do grievance calls for you. If you have a customer that has a complaint, We do those calls for you. We do job screening. If you are hiring for your business, we screen them right there on the phone for you if that's what you choose. Um, there's a lot that's done that makes you look so much larger, and a lot of things that you probably want to do, but just didn't have the manpower or the time or the inclination to do so.
All right. So $450 a week. So, and you said you want a commitment of just 1 month, and then I can decide if I want to stick
After
with.
that, it's weekly. Yeah.
Okay. So now, unfortunately, things happen, and we have to be honest about it. If I decide to, sever ways with you, now what about, since you're doing all my job scheduling and you do all that, you have all my clients and pretty much at your disposal. What do you do? I get them on like a spreadsheet or CVS?
Yes, we can put that in a CSV file for you,
Okay.
comma
And,
separated value file, and then that goes on to your what's it called? Excel. Yeah, spreadsheet.
okay. So you'll give me my clients
Yeah,
if I,
that's yours.
and the other thing is, this is a big thing with a lot of CRM systems in the industry. Well, one in particular that I notice a lot of people always question or said about, that they sell my customers to other businesses or other industries. I don't want anything like that.
None of your sensitive information is ever to be sold, shared, or used for any other person or any other source. Not only does that protect you as a consumer, that protects me because that'd be my neck on the line for I would never, for someone to say, "Oh, I would never." That's one thing, but legally, there are entities that you answer to for things like that. That's not the way we will be practicing. So
All right. Well, so I got that. So besides the inbound and the jobs not lead program, that's very impressive. I'm really interested in that more so than even the inbound call, to be honest with you. But does RLMA do anything else, or is that basically it?
oh, we do the EDDM template program, of course. We have the live inbound answering, and then we have the 24, the 3-day, the 3-day training program.
Okay, but wait a minute. Let's go back here, because let's say I'm new and I'm green in this industry. What the heck is a EDDM program? What's that?
My apologies. EDDM means every door direct mail, correct?
Oh, okay. So y'all just mail a bunch of stuff.
Every door direct mail. So I am pretty sure you have a sample right there around you, near you somewhere.
Yeah.
Look at that. So the EDDM is something that's going to help boost or and scale up your business simply because you get to send these out to those in your target market. This is going to wind up in the mailbox of every business and residence in the postal zone of your choice for the demographic that you are marketing to. And so those get sent out in every mailbox. And we choose the income parameters. We choose what income they should be at. Ours are at what, 90,000 higher, something like that. That's who we're marketing to. So whoever your target market is, that's who you get your EDDM marketing off to. That's going to get your phone to ring, and that's going to cause us and justify why you need a live inbound answering system for your business.
Hmm. So that's pretty good. Um, But what if I don't have a website or you know, like those type things? What do you do anything with that?
Well, if you go to rlmaservices.com, you can see the website packages there.
So you do make the websites for us.
Yes, we have a design team that does the web that will build the websites. Um, and you can see all the details there. We're still building that up right now, but we have that available. And the business starter packages, the EDDM template program. I feel like I'm missing something else.
Do you do anything with reviews?
Could you repeat that? My volume is.
Do you do anything with reviews?
Do I
Getting
do
reviews?
reviews?
Yes.
Like, so tell us.
Yes. Well, what's that? What's that, for instance?
So Telus is a review company that uh what is it that you're asking me about Sotellus? I'm sorry.
Okay.
RLMA does not do reviews.
No, but you do help me get them, was the question. You have a company that you refer me to that helps me get video, audio, and written reviews on
Yes,
Google,
we do refer to.
Facebook, Yelp, and so basically on all my online
Yes,
presence.
for your website. You totally threw me on that. I didn't know because that's not something that I promote readily for RLMA. Um, but yes, we do assist with that.
Okay. So basically, even if you directly don't have a hand in it, something like a review service, you can still have me set up or have me sent to someone that does the reviews as well as a CRM system and all that. You have companies like you basically have a business startup package for me, so I don't really have to go
Yes, the
anywhere else.
business startup package. Yes, that is it. That's what that entails. Thank you, Roger Lloyd. My goodness. Yes, the business startup package does have that as well. But more importantly, the EDDM template programs, the live inbound answering, those are things that work hand in hand and work together with scaling up your business and boosting your business. So we're going to be coming out soon to discuss some of the services that we'll be offering and in more detail. This was just a way to introduce that we were going to be exclusive to the cleaning industry, and we want to be able to get you to get over to the website soon when everything is all built out. And I'm real excited to roll that out to you real soon. But in the meantime, we will be at the experience so we can give you an opportunity to see so much more
Okay.
as far as what we do and explain how we will answer and demonstrate how we'll take these calls that come in and see how well we can become an extension of your business and of your operation there.
Oh, okay. And so if I wanted to go say and see all the services you offer, I can go to what's the website name again?
RLMA
Hmm.
services.com.
Let me see.
We're still building out,
Hmm.
but yes, it'll be up and ready within the next week, right before the experience.
Okay, this sounds good. So basically, rlmaservices.com.
That is correct.
Okay, I just put that at the end of.
R I'm doing it
Go
wrong.
ahead.
RLMAservices.com.
Yeah, I just put that at the bottom of the crawler. So anyone that's interested in viewing your website to see all the services since you're just rolling out. And I understand this was an introductory interview with you explaining basically one of the main things that the industry really needs that makes you exclusive to it, which is handling the client's customers. And I think that, like you just expressed, you're not an answering service, you're a virtual assistant because, like you just said, you have programs like the Jobs Not Leads program that really has me uh, excited because if
Right.
you're telling me that if I have a week or two where I still have to pay you and you're expected to get paid, that for an additional $250, you will provide me with 10
10 jobs,
jobs, not leads. And like you just
10
said,
booked jobs.
my minimum is $150. So that right there would give me 10 jobs that week that would cover your payment completely with just 3 jobs. And then the rest would be all income in my pocket for doing that work. Not to say if I build a relationship with these companies that you schedule, because these are just commercial jobs that you're going to be scheduling for
These are
me,
just
right?
commercial jobs. Absolutely.
So this is awesome. So if I do a good job, or if I uh, want to try to get them on a maintenance program, like most of us should want to, um, then that's just income. Now, do I have to keep paying you every time I clean
No,
them?
you pay for the service once. It's a booked job, and then we actually encourage and help orchestrate you getting the maintenance program going if you go in every 6 months or every 3 months.
Because if
Also,
memory serves, there was a commercial company that just called in one of my areas, and it was for about $800, and you scheduled it, and I did the job, and they
every
were
six
very
months.
happy, and
Yes,
they got on the maintenance program for every 6 months. Is that
that's
correct?
correct. Yes.
And so that cost me $25 one time, and now every 6 months I'm going to go back and make a minimum of $800.
That's amazing. That right there is a good example of a higher end. Suppose you just did it with just the minimums. After you would make about what, $1,500 or something, but after paying me, you'd make 1,300 off of it because you're spending 200, something like that. But that's on the lowest end.
Wow.
So
Miss Janae, I want to thank you for your time and all of your services that are exclusive for this industry. I can't tell you how so many cleaners that will find out about you and your services, and even at your price is very reasonable. The more you talk and the more that you were telling me about all the things you do, I mean, the prices you asked for, the Mikey P fellow was correct. Your prices are extremely reasonable as long as they keep doing one thing: making my business easier and making me more money. So I'm interested, and I'm going to definitely let as many cleaners as I know about your services, and hopefully they'll try you out and
I
everything will go
appreciate
well.
that, Roger. I really appreciate that. There are a lot of owner operators that I've spoken with that have language barriers. They do great work, but for some reason they're unable to really communicate with the customer base that they really want to reach out to. And having a company like RLMA answer their phone lines for them makes such a huge difference. They've expressed how important, how they just can't wait for us to launch. So once we do, we'll be dealing with that type of thing. Just being able to communicate with the clients and the customers that you want, that makes a huge difference. Just being able to appear and show that you are a reliable company, always answering the phone, always there, always available, always pleasant, always knowledgeable. The product knowledge alone, the training that goes into that, it's pretty extensive. So you're going to wind up getting everything and more that you need, because you're getting that plus an agent that will upgrade. You know it as an upsell, but we don't call it that. We call it upgrade. That'll upgrade and increase your ticket. Right now, I'm working on the call flow, on how the calls, I'm building everything out in our software. So the way the calls go, when I was talking earlier about those details, those are things that other companies aren't looking to do. They're strictly taking a message on behalf of your company so they can give it to you later. When I will wind up consulting with you to finding out what the processes are for your emergency procedures. Things like that are important, whether you think so or not. So we need to know what to do if your worker is out in the field in a client's home. What is the procedure? What are they supposed to do? I need to know things like that, so that whoever's answering your phone can act accordingly and handle any issue that arises accordingly. So that's something that's important as well.
All right. We have another question before we get ready to wrap this up. Let's see what this one is.
Oh, they obviously weren't here. It says contract information. Well, obviously you missed it earlier. There are no contracts to speak of. We asked for a 1-month commitment. That is it. And then billing is done on a weekly basis after that. The first the initial service starts off with a 1-month billing at $1,800 for the 1 month. That does translate to $450 weekly. And after that, it's $450 every week. If you decide to turn the service off temporarily and you want to turn it right back on, there will not be another setup fee. Your initial setup fee will suffice. And that's it. So there are no contracts.
All right. So I hope that answered your question. Miss Janae has been very good to us tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Or were they asking for contact information? We'll put up contact information too. I'm wondering if that's what they're asking. It says contract.
I have at the bottom scrolling, I have your website, and what
Let's add the phone number there in the comments, and then we'll wrap it up.
Let's see, if you give me a minute while you're wrapping things up, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put the phone number so it's right after the website there, so they can have that as well. So go ahead and tell us a little bit more before we roll out.
All right. So we want you to know that we'll be available at 484-420-7220. Roger's going to put that there in the scrolling area. We will be at the experience in just the next couple weeks. We will see you there, April 19th, 20th, and 21st. If you're there April 18th, you get to be there for the pre-experience seminar given by Roger at check-in. So make sure you're there for that. We will be available to answer any questions you have and to demonstrate so much more when we're ready to launch the weekend after the experience has rolled out. So what do you have there? 484-420-7220. Real nice.
Well, Miss Janae, I want to thank you. And you didn't have to do this. You didn't have to come in and help this industry with your 25 years of experience in the call center industry. And I just would like to toot your horn by letting everyone know that doesn't know already. This is my wife, and she is exceptional. I met her 3.5 years ago, and she was so foolish enough to say I do to me a couple years ago. And I was using she was answering my phones for me. And I can't tell you the night and day difference it made with my customer retention. I have had customers actually let me know when I went to do the job that Janae was so good at dealing with them when they were scheduling the appointment that they said that she ought to work for Disneyland. Now, at that time, my ignorance in the customer service world didn't, I just was like, oh, well, thank you. I didn't know what that meant. But then I did more research to find out that the Disneyland customer service is second to none in the world, ladies and gentlemen. So this lady right here got the compliment of a lifetime from one of my clients before she was Mrs. Lloyd, and they wanted to let me know that the great Janae Rowley Lloyd should work for Disneyland. Now, that is a gift by itself to our industry. I don't care about the other answering services. Remember, this is not an answering service. This is a virtual office assistant in your region. I told you the other company that I was using before I met my wonderful wife, Janae, was out of Utah. Yes, they had very nice sounding people that were unsure when they answered the phone, and they had no knowledge about my region, let alone my state or my area. That is very pertinent and very important to you to know that you have someone, at least in the beginning stages of RLMA's formulation, that they're in your region. You don't want somebody from New York answering your call in California unless they have lived there, unless they know California. Are you getting what I'm saying to you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to, because on April 19th, 20th, and 21st at booth, I believe the booth will be 611 at the largest cleaning convention, cleaners and restorers in Charleston, South Carolina, at the Embassy Suites Convention Center. This beautiful young lady will be there, and she will be able to answer all of your questions live in detail, get all the questions answered that you need to give your business a fighting chance. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual assistant for our industry exclusively. Exclusively. I urge you, I implore you, come stop by. Don't let this interview be your last stop with RLMA services.
Yeah, come by with questions. Find out what, there'll be things we're building and we're just rolling things out. So there will be services that we will be adding later on. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear some feedback. And if you're curious, we want to be able to answer any questions that you might have.
And remember, it's called the experience for a reason. This is the one opportunity, the one chance, twice a year, once on the East Coast, once on the West Coast, that you can come to get an experience for what you put your hard-earned work, time, and dedication in every day. You're going to meet people like me and many other brother cleaners and sister cleaners in the industry that are going to care about one thing, what you care about. Because before we wrap up and we end this for tonight, Friday Night Insights, I want to leave you with this. You chose this industry. It didn't choose you. So thank you. And Miss Janae, we want to thank you, and we will see you in simple 16 days at the largest convention and cleaning restorers conference on the East Coast at Charleston, South Carolina at Embassy Suites. Register on the 18th at 2 o'clock. So at 3:30, you can come get your very first pre-experience with yours truly on how to become the known professional in your zip codes of choice. Thank you and good night.
Good night.